All right, Justice Morrighan. Put your hands together, please.
I'm Justice Morrighan. I'm a 7th generation San Franciscan native and a 1st generation poet.
All right.
7. Hungry for coffee with myself. I hunger here in North Beach. Feels like summer this night. Unusual new spring, no breeze to caress me. Tonight it goes miles in a so-white velvet purring home of strip club grit, crimson kind of blue, loud hustle and fetish shoes, collusions naughty and edgy, collisions unrelenting, Columbus-bound cars and a Coltrane staccato of red taillights chasing Carol Doda at the Condor. I once had legs like that dancer in that doorway over there. A cigarette makes her look younger, like maybe a prom queen. Legs to heaven, the men pay to see. No stockings, see-through platform shoes, posturing self-importance, making out of chatter with the slick barker at the door. At the men's club, where I am not invited. Here in North Beach, I hope to find my place at the sidewalk table with my poetry, and some nice someone will sit at the table next to me and say, "Hey babe, want a coffee? Maybe a little wine? Come, join me." And we play a Gallery 6, go, 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 praying he will not turn me into his mommy nurse. Listening to his problems, waiting in suspense until his hand reaches under the table for my thigh. Maybe a little squeeze. How I hunger for a good Italian sauce, a fine chicken puttanesca, or tortellini and a little prosciutto with capers and a bit of cream. Better yet, a veal piccata transporting me to candlelight with a glass of Prosecco, China, linen, white wine. Or a few drinks with the thing about you, baby, cool hip boys. Maybe a little vino, served at the kitchen table, gravitas, till dawn, yeah. I long for lattes et Trieste with George Tsongas. Talking about the women he loved, the women he knew, the young ones that still catch his eye. Perhaps a cappuccino and Greco with Jennifer Barone. Hungry for coffee with myself, the rider zone washes over my body, trying to capture the zeitgeist, record the insights, pick up the vibes of the city, see the ink stain in my hands. I have fallen into poetry, my heart forgets to beat, and I am drowning. I want to return to my youth in a pure, urgent voice, poke holes in the rules, learn to dance like wind chases the sun, and never say die. Create my own fierce history, not of a North Beach conspiracy. I am creating a life that I can fall in love with, learning to write at the Beat Museum, running with the poets, chasing open mics, creating small beauties just for the adventure. I am starved for this life, still I hunger. Remember the hungry eye? In my head, I hear conciertos of the muted trumpet of Chet Baker. Bye-bye blackbird carried on the gentle wind, off to the next adventure. Bye-bye.
All right, keep those hands going for Shahid Buttar.
Shahid! Word up to everybody who's blessed this microphone. I'm so excited to be here. The NSA breaks the law every day. It doesn't matter who you are or what you say. They monitor your phone calls and your emails anyway. Corrupt Congress and courts paving the way. There is a lesson you will learn someday. watch what you say. See, they spy on your mind, record your calls for posterity, commit daily executive crimes with impunity. They're the authorities, here to keep us safe until the boot ends up on your face. It's the NSA against the Constitution. We the people are the ones our government is abusing. We can force any agency to make a new choice when we build a movement, each raising our voice. They lie about the origins of the evidence. They lie about the numbers of Americans watched immense, too large for them to calculate. They sigh a self-serving lie by the government's eye. Computing power unmatched in history, presuming the power to wiretap humanity. It's insanity how large the hubris looms. The government's watching you in the bathroom and they lie about it. At every opportunity, sustained abuses of every community, unity across Washington, D.C., all three branches against the people we see. Bush signed a secret presidential decree. Obama talks a big game, but presidentially he's done everything he can to entrench the Bush legacy, a complex composed of military industry. Eisenhower, 60 years before, anticipated to be rising in the wings for generations growing. A crisis in democracy sowing, the future's at stake. You can start by knowing it's the agencies against the Constitution. We the people are the ones our government is abusing. We can force anybody to make a new choice when we build a movement, each raising our voice. For 100 years, since World War I, the FBI versus free speech has held the gun. Constitutional rights on the run. The Palmer raid's the first, but not the last one. Fast forward 40 years to the real Red Scare. McCarthy did a number, but the FBI was there, dog. They were everywhere. They knew what you wore to bed. They prosecuted people for the thoughts in our heads. They tried to drive MLK to suicide. No one even knows how Brother Malcolm died. Fred Hampton killed in his own house inside. The feds bombed Earth activist Judy Barry and lied, and those lies go all the way up the chain of command. The agencies lied to judges when on the stand. The director, the head honcho, the man, claims his lies were planned and that he didn't understand that it's the FBI against the Constitution. We the people are the ones the government is abusing. We can force anybody to make a new choice when we build a movement, each raising our voice. So how would a patriot act in fact? He dragged Congress out back and beat it with a bat like Revere broke through the streets, warning of attack. 200 years later, Snowden back again the alarm. You can bet the farm that the agencies on democracy inflict harm. Secrets hiding crimes works like a charm. Congressional dysfunctionality far and wide with the attacks on cyberspace and the telephone system. Every call that you place monitored, caller receiver, profiled race, ideology, temperament, sexual taste. Notice the budget crisis? Here's the waste. Billions every year to our country debased. Don't settle for half-ass keeping spying in place. The agencies need to be erased. It's the agencies against the Constitution. We the people are the ones that government is abusing. We can force any acronym to make a new choice when we build a movement, each raising our voice. Some people think that Edward Snowden is a traitor. They forget everything that happened later. Congress lied to by executive officials talking about corruption in the Capitol for shizzle. Democracies fizzle when their people are watched. That's why the NSA's got to be stopped, and the FBI too. Don't forget what they do. Entire agencies arrayed against you, raiding the homes of peaceful activists, setting in motion predictable plot twists, arresting democracy to bind her wrists. The constitutional coup already happened. It's DHS biometric data collection, surveillance drones, automatic license detections, departments of corrections, eclipsing universities. We must all resist or we'll be history. Agencies against we, the people. Don't stoop, don't grovel to no government steeple. We can force anyone to make a new choice when we build a movement, each raising our voice. Yeah!
Hear the last poem, because that's me. Whenever you hear my poem, it's time to go. So just as a little act of housekeeping before we go, I am the last poet, and I would ask all of you nice people if you would please look around you and gather up any radical literature that you have, and please take it with you. This is like no trace camping. I was a Girl Scout. We leave things better than we found it. And our voices have left this place better than we found it. So please, let's leave the space better than we found it. All right. This poem is called Narcissism. The shadow of the Lorax plays on the walls of Plato's cave, where Christ was buried, and on the third day, Sisyphus rolled the rock away and invented religion to fuel old feuds with folks who might yet be friends. The world is small and getting smaller, an unlikely oasis in space. I am you. All the myths are true. And of course, we see ourselves in every drop of water. It is us.
It's us.
Yeah.
Board of Supervisors, the Public Library, and the Friends of the Public Library, and all the people who helped make this happen tonight. You want to say good night, Dave? You want to say good night, Val? Say good night.
Yeah. I'd like everybody come up here. Hey, Charlie, everybody come up here. Everybody coming up here.
It's time for a group picture, everybody.
Let's come on. Everybody coming up. Coming up. Let's get a group picture this year.
Come on up, baby. Everybody up. No, everybody. Everybody up.
Get in there, baby.
No, we're out of time. No, we're done.
Okay, thank you, brother. We're gonna have to survive that. But hey, brothers and sisters. Come on up.
Come on up, everybody up.
All right, group picture.
Move it fast. We don't have much time. Quit your twerking. Nice job, Twitter.
All right, time for a picture. Everybody take a picture. Here we go. Family picture.
Everybody get in.